All right, let's hopefully everything else still works. Where am I at? Going
I
live.
know. Look at that beauty.
No, that's pretty. All right, move over, kids. We've got ourselves a split screen today, and probably for the foreseeable future. Google Hangouts, the podcast platform that we were using, changed things on us, but now you get to see all of us. I think this is how the professionals do it, anyways. So it's like you can see us all at once.
Hashtag pros.
Hey, EPS 5000. The first thing is Devin got a PS5 that actually doesn't work.
It is not a joyous day that I expected.
Yeah, but we'll talk about his PS5 experience. Literally out 10 minutes outside the box, it failed him. So we'll talk about that in a few. But some killer deals this week. It was Black Friday or Thanksgiving week in America, and Canada. Does Canada celebrate Thanksgiving? I don't know.
They do, but it's a different day.
Is it a different day? All right.
Yep.
I don't know if Mexico does. Usually, I kind of group North America as like, oh yeah, we all celebrate this, but I don't even know. I guess probably not, since it's just the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock or whatever. But that aside, in America we eat a lot of turkey, and then we go and get a lot of deals on stuff. And what?
And fall asleep.
Yes. And Ronald, what's up, man? How are you doing? Recently picked up a complete in-box copy of Mischief Makers for the N64. That's cool. I don't know what game is that the... No, that's not the Donald Duck game.
It's got like that character with like the white suit and the green hair on the front of it.
Yeah.
I can't remember much about it, but it was a fun game. I remember playing it when I was little.
Which those are fairly rare on the N64.
You got a complete in-box copy, though, so congrats for that.
That's pretty good.
And EPS will be getting his Game & Watch tomorrow. So did you guys get any good deals this week? I know, and I think if you hurry, because it's Sunday, you might still be able to get some of these deals even.
Cyber Monday be dropping too, so there's going to be some cool stuff. Mainly, I was just going for the sales on Pokemon cards.
I didn't know you were a Pokemon. Do you play or do you collect?
Both. I used to collect the cards and then kind of fell out of the game because of scalping issue. Seems to be a reoccurring thing. Anyway, but I stopped playing the game and then got back into it thanks to TikTok, and I started a channel on there, which I have a decent following now.
What's your TikTok?
It's same as my YouTube channel, Ratboy Collectibles.
Oh, cool. What kind of TikTok videos do you do?
Well, so far I've been doing just generalized nerdy stuff like my YouTube channel, and but doing a lot of Pokemon related content.
Gotcha.
Pack openings and a couple of giveaways that I've done.
Gotcha. Again, this is a totally new platform for us, so I'm going to explain something to David. David, if you look in your upper right corner of your screen, there is a little picture of you, and on that little picture of you is a bell and 4 squares. If you hit the 4 squares, you can get all of us at once on your screen.
And you're going to see like the Brady Bunch intro on your screen of all 4 of us.
Yeah. So if you don't want to do that, don't do it. But like I said, Google Hangouts just decided to quit on us, and now it's Google Meet. What about you, Bandana? What kind of deals have you got?
Yeah, I picked up a couple of things. Let's see. I picked up Mortal Kombat Aftermath for the Xbox One Series X.
Is that the new one? Like, is that the
no? That was the second one they put out that had the first 2 DLC packs, and they've just released a third. But
I think that's kind of. I hate when I don't like that. I don't like when you release like a definitive edition and then a definitive edition plus.
Again, yeah. I'm used to, I grew up in the era of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2. But
You got to remember, we're all of similar age there, John. So we all kind of dropped into that. I remember being able to play a fighting game and just unlocking the characters and being done with it, not waiting 6 months for more characters to come out.
let's see. I got Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, Bayonetta and Vanquish for Xbox One.
Bayonetta Vanquish. Is that just the first Bayonetta?
Yeah, it's on Xbox. Sega put it out since they published those originally. It's that and Platinum's other game, Vanquish, which is very underrated.
It's two games, not.
Yeah, 2 games in one. Bayonetta, Vanquish.
Gotcha.
Which they put out like a 4K high res version. But awesome games. I picked up a bunch of things. I'm trying to make sure I get through. Captain Tsubosas, which is a anime soccer game on the Switch. And picked up the 2-pack of Super Monkey Ball and Sonic Forces.
Now, what made you pick up that game?
I was curious about Sonic Forces, and I'd never played a Super Monkey Ball game, and it was right at the right price.
So much fun.
And I was curious. So Sega did 2 of these 2-packs for the Nintendo Switch. They did this one, and they did another one for Sonic Team Racing and Sonic Mania.
Uh-huh.
I had those 2 games, but I was like, oh, cool. I'd be interested because I saw the case. I was like, oh, I'll be interested to get 2 Switch carts in a single case. It is actually both games on one Switch cart. I was really surprised by. So, and there's some other stuff that I know I picked. Oh, Avengers. I picked up Avengers for the PS4.
Really? Because I've been hearing... I heard a weird statement. Someone said, that game sucks. I heard the story was good, though. And to me, I was like, what? How is that game going to suck if the story's good? It should be like...
I can explain that. I can explain that sentiment. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
The intro story, the first, the campaign is really short. And the crux of the game is really on the multiplayer online stuff that you do. It's kind of like a Destiny-esque game.
Oh, okay.
So once you get out of that short campaign, you're in this online game that really is just from what I've heard, very repetitive. They've delayed a lot of content, and it is not picked up the way they expected it to.
I have another theory about that, because I think a lot of people that I've heard, because it just seems to be the running thing with Marvel, that it focuses mostly on Kamala Khan and not one of the male characters. So
I will.
I don't know. Yeah. I think the game's really cool. I haven't finished it. I haven't gotten that far into it, but it's really well put together game, and I think it's pretty fun, especially because if you look at Duke Nukem Forever, that game was in development hell forever, literally, and so was this one. This one almost didn't even come out.
Yeah. So I mean, and it. Hopefully we'll get. This was the price point that I wanted to pick it up. There was enough there. I was just like, But 25. I think it got down to 25.
Nice.
25 is where I picked it up. And the last one I got was Crash 4, for PlayStation 4. But that one won't come until the middle of the month.
Yeah.
Is Kamala Khan an Avenger in the comics?
Kamala Khan, yes, she is. She is one of the things.
Yeah, almost every Marvel character in some form is an Avenger at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, it depends on if you're talking about the West Coast Avengers, the main Avengers. There's different
Avengers.
I know they put Wolverine in the Avengers in the comics, and I was like, he doesn't fit in there.
That was the Dark Avengers #1.
Okay,
Dark Avengers.
Okay.
That was shocking.
And then there was who else? Spider-Man also. I don't feel Spider-Man fits in the Avengers either for some reason. I just feel like Spider-Man's just he's just a street. Even though he does get caught up in these world-altering events, to me, Spider-Man's a street-level hero. You know what I mean? He's a man of the people.
Also has the Spider-Verse coming into play, so he's cracked the entire universe before, and he probably will do it again.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I just feel like he should team up with the Avengers as opposed to be a member of the Avengers.
Valid point.
And from what I see,
that's also if we're talking about Cosmic Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, that's true. So, David, how are you? Any deals? I see you playing around with your backgrounds and having fun. I need to do that. How do I blur my background, David?
Let's see. I don't know.
He just
Let's
like, I don't
see.
know. I don't want to tell you.
I think it's the three dots at the bottom right, and then you go to change background.
Change.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Maybe is there one that has like a bed that's made for you?
We'll see. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, there. Okay. No, this is weird. My bed, it still shows my bed not being made. Anyways, David, tell me. So, what's going on? Did you pick up any deals? I know the big deals going on right now, right this second. If you go on Nintendo Switch eShop, there's lots of deals. And I know you also said you were thinking about getting some like $30 Nintendo games like Mario Tennis and stuff. Did you end up doing it?
No, I actually, GameStop sold out of a couple of them. I think they sold out of Aces and Yoshi. They had a bunch of. I know they had a big stock of Super Mario Deluxe U, whatever it's called. But I was like, if I can't get them all, then I won't bother with just one or two.
So if you're like, if I can't spend $300, I'm not gonna spend anything.
Well, I wanted to grab pretty much every title that they had for $30, which is I think a good chunk, like 6 or 7. But
That was a good list.
yeah. But oh well, no biggie. I haven't gotten anything actually. I kind of slacked, but yeah. I haven't really been playing anything either. I mean, I've been playing Call of Duty with my cousins, just kind of hanging out. But
Like the new Call of Duty.
yeah, no, that's Cold War. I'm still playing Modern Warfare, Warzone. But I haven't played. I think it's been 3 weeks now. I haven't played Persona 5. Just been really busy with just stuff. So I think it's time to jump back in. I was kind of hitting it pretty hard. I think I'm 29 or 30 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great game, man. It's just really, 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 really not even grindy. It's a JRPG, right? And I think this Atlas recognizes that JRPGs can be grindy, and so to combat this, I think they made a very streamlined JRPG. You can like fast travel, you can fast dialogue, you can skip cutscenes. It's a very user friendly. Not only is the UI really pretty, but it's a very user friendly experience. It's super fast. So I don't think you have to spend 120 hours. You can easily probably do it in like 60 to 80 hours, which is still a long time.
Yeah, it's still a long time.
But yeah, I'm gonna hit it back. I just want to beat it. I think I want to make sure I beat it before I start the new year, and I'm just gonna start hitting some other games that I really wanna play.
Like what?
Man, I haven't really played Ghost of Tsushima. I've got like 5-6 hours in there. Let's see. The Spider-Man base Spider-Man would be nice to play. I haven't played Hyrule Warriors. Age of Calamity. Have you guys played it?
Not yet. I only played the demo.
I'm savoring it. I'm savoring it because I'm like, once I play this, I'm not going to be able to have any Zelda game to play for a while. So it's like I've been just kind of playing. Like I like, should I do it? Should I not? So I haven't played it only because there's not a game other than Breath of the Wild 2 that has really excited me. So it's like I'm trying to hold off as long as possible.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm hearing some stuff about the story, which is cool, but I'm also trying to avoid all that as well. Twitter's like just blowing up with Age of Calamity stuff. So I don't know, man. It's been crazy. This whole year has been crazy. I know that's a very cliche thing to say now, but I don't know. Whenever you think you have a grip on things, just something happens, right? But it's I just kind of imagine myself in scenarios with you guys where I just, hypothetically and playing like a 4-player co-op or 5-player co-op, and it like makes me happy for a little bit, even though we probably don't all play a single system at the same time. Like, Ken, you don't have a PS whatever or Xbox whatever. You just have Nintendo. So we can, ideally we could play Smash. I think everybody has Smash, right?
Yep.
Dana, you have Smash? Will has Smash?
I have Smash. I'd love to see you beat me repeatedly.
He will, John. He will.
Yeah, I'm aware.
You got to meet
Right.
me. You will.
How did I lose all 3 lives in one move? Kudos, David. Kudos.
I'd just be glad if I could get David down to 1 stock when I fought against David.
I'm up anytime, man.
Percentage of damage, I would be happy.
You guys hit me up, man. I'm actually really rusty, Ken. So you'd probably dwindle me down pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that. This is what we call a hustle, David.
Yeah, right. Yeah, David's like, why don't we put out some of this Christmas, these Switch games, the Bandana? What about these games? Let's put them on the line.
I would like to see how we would fare with like Overcooked. All 5 of us. Is it 5 players or?
I actually just got that was one of the only games that I did get from the Target for the Black Friday is Overcooked 2 because I played it before. I liked it. It's so damn hard.
Dude, the game's awesome, but it is so stressful. It's
And
like Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay just yelling at you. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
If they had a version of Overcooked for like, get it, you donkey.
I would love to see Gordon Ramsay. Do you ever watch Gordon Ramsay just critique like people and he just yells at them or yells at the internet or whatever? I hate people like Gordon Ramsay, but like I watch him sometimes, and I would love to see him like play Overcooked with somebody.
He probably plays it with his kids.
Dude, he loves kids.
Oh, he's really nice to kids.
He's so nice to kids, man.
You see Master Chef adult version as opposed to Master Chef kids, and like, oh my god,
right.
It's like those same mistakes. He would have made some girl cry.
He uses words as insults that I never thought would be like it would hurt. Like he says Muppet and donut. He calls people donuts.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know. I'd probably be honored to be called a donut by Gordon Ramsay because I can't cook. But that guy is he knows his craft really well. So I think he's allowed to be the way he is. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably mostly for show, right? It's just maybe it's an act.
Famous.
But the guy, I mean, he's a world renowned chef. So but anyway.
But I don't know if they do Overcooked online though.
On Switch?
Oh, they did.
On Switch, yeah. I don't know if they do for Switch. That would be a fun game to play, but it would be so stressful because you're like, flip the meat, put it, wash the dishes. We need to wash it. Something's on fire. Me and my wife played a bunch, and it was like, ugh. I do highly recommend it. That's a great date night game, but it's like you can only take so much of it. So, did you finish your point, David? Or I'm sorry, I kind of took it over with David Ramsey talk. What were you saying?
I don't think I had a point.
Okay.
I'm not really playing anything, but with the holidays, we're in the holiday season. Hopefully, things slow down a little bit, and we can, I can go back to my somewhat weird schedule of playing a game here and another game there. But
hey, can I ask you a potentially culturally insensitive question, David?
If you wanted to be on the podcast, sure, man, go ahead.
I think I asked this one time before, but I can't remember now. Earlier when you weren't on, I was like, does Mexico celebrate Thanksgiving?
No, this is a conversation that came up on Thanksgiving Day with my family, and they don't. I mean, it's a known thing. I think they know about it, but it's like Cinco de Mayo is a way bigger deal here in the States than it is in Mexico. It's very Americanized. Margaritas, chips, salsa, that kind of thing. But Mexico, it could give 2 bleeps for it. So now Mexican Independence Day, September 13th. That's actually a very big deal.
So Thanksgiving, there's no Black Friday, there's no nothing in Mexico. It's just Thursday.
I mean, I think they have a Black Friday. I think Black Friday is kind of like everywhere now. I think I saw something about Germany having it, Canada. It's everywhere for sure. I think Brazil has. There's a video I watched of Brazil
No,
where these people were just like tearing down these garage doors trying to get into this big box store.
so kind of like
So-
our Walmart edition.
Yeah, it's yeah, I think that's a kind of like a worldwide thing now. So, but yeah, Thanksgiving is not. It's a known thing, but it's not like everybody sits down and makes a turkey, right? So
Yeah, I think we said that Canada has one, but it's on a different day.
it's a month earlier. I think theirs is in October.
Really?
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
There's an episode about Thanksgiving on How I Met Your Mother, and Robin talks about how weird it is to have Thanksgiving.
It is weird. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I thought you were gonna ask me. I thought you were gonna ask me if my family's already made 100 tamales or something.
I just assume you're always making tamales.
Which my family is. We don't make as much tamales as other Mexican families, so that would be, I guess, a fair question to ask.
You should. Here's the thing that I always get, or people are always surprised because I'm Asian. But when people will see the amount of rice, the intake of rice that I take, they're just amazed. Or when I give them a plate, here's a plate of Asian food, and they just look at all the rice that I've heaped on, because in America rice is like the side dish or something, and it's just like it's just a scoop. But with Asians, it's like 3/4 rice, 1/4 whatever else.
Yeah.
But Rat Boy, so tell me about your quest to get your PS5.
Too soon.
No,
And we're here for you, man. Before you get know that we're here and we're behind you. Okay.
Yeah, and if you feel like cussing tonight, go for it. Yeah.
No, but thanks to William, he mentioned that some of the stores on Brickseeker for Walmart are saying that they have them in stock. I'm like, yeah, it's been like that for I don't know, 2 weeks for me. And all the stores said they had some in stock. So I was like, whatever, I'll call. I tried calling, and then the Walmart near me said, oh yeah, we have them. I'm like, so wait, you have them for physical purchase if I walked into the store? She's like, yes. So I jumped out of bed and got dressed and drove there. Long story short, got it home, plugged it in, and started to install Demon Souls, and just suddenly turned off. I was like, what? I didn't know what the heck to do. I was sitting there staring at my TV for a second because I didn't know what was going on. Tried to turn it back on, and it would the blue light would turn on, and it just kept shutting off, and it's a paperweight now. And it literally was on for less than 10 minutes, and I had to take off the bottom cover and use a screwdriver to get the disc out.
So you use Brickseek, that's just brickseek.com or whatever. It's just a thing that knows inventory.
Yeah.
Found a Walmart, bought a PS5,
Mm-hmm.
and it failed you after a download.
Well, it was installing Demon Souls, so yes.
And did anything happen? Did the power outage or anything?
Nope, perfectly normal. Not like I have it plugged into the same surge protector that I have all my other game consoles plugged into. No issue with anything else. Just suddenly died. Literally the worst game console release I've ever dealt with. And I've been playing games since the Super Nintendo. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we're all the same age, Jeff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, prefacing the first console that I played. So I've been playing video games since the Super Nintendo. I've been getting new consoles since then as well. It's legit the worst one.
What are you gonna do now?
Well, I already set up a repair to have it fixed, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to find a Walmart that still has them again, and be able to do a return and exchange for another one instead of having to wait half a month. So.
Yeah, honestly, I think you got, obviously you didn't get lucky in that you got a broken PS5, but You had to have gotten lucky because when did you get this? Friday or Saturday?
Saturday morning.
Yeah, I don't know how they had any left in stock after Friday. They must have got a shipment like Friday
I
night
have
or
no
something.
idea, honestly, because my thing is I'm pretty sure that they probably had X amount that they were saving because of Black Friday. Even though that still doesn't make any sense because they said, oh, all the stock is for Black Friday online only, but yet none of them went to the store, which made no sense. Or if you wanted to go pick up at the store, how you would be fast enough to get it. That was the other thing. Like, it was literally gone in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
So
they must be getting like just shipment after shipment because every Black Friday people like would have used up all the stock.
yeah, that's what I thought. But then that's why I was saying, like, I randomly decided to call, and they had. So I rushed down there, and they were trying. Well, I can't stand when retail employees do this. When they would like give that blanket answer of, "Oh no, we don't have it." Well, I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" I called 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. If it's not on the shelf, they don't have it.
And then another person heard me talking about it, and then she went to find it. And then me and one other lady that was happened to ask at the same time got the only two that were in the store. So
Cool.
EPS 5000 says a lot of people have reported their PS5 bricking. EPS, if you could link me to that, I'd be fascinated because as far as I've known, other than Devin here, I've only heard of one PS5 bricking. Now, I don't seek out PlayStation news like I seek out Nintendo news. However, I am part of a lot of game groups where like I know more about, the video game industry as a whole than most people, the average person. But this is only the second PS5 that I've heard of bricking. Have you guys heard of any others bricking?
the only thing that I've heard is the fact that people are having issues where it's lagging FPS wise, and I don't think I've heard of anybody. I've heard of it turning off randomly, but that was it. I have not heard of anybody saying that it outright just died.
Mm-hmm.
The Giant Beast Cast, the podcast for the New York office of Giant Bomb, was talking about there were apparently several just kind of not necessarily just bricking, but other weird things coming out that shutting off, randomly getting overheated, and then an issue with the front USB port will not charge, and it's only some of them won't charge a controller if the system is in rest mode. You have to use one of the back ones, but it's not supposed to do that.
EPS did throw a link on if anyone is interested, EPS threw a link on the chat.
Yeah, I have seen some coverage that there seems to be more defects in this batch than you actually want to see.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason. Like, I know I wanted it, and I'm at this point, like, I should have just waited because I'm literally going to have to wait for them to send a box, send it in, and then wait for them to fix it and send it back. I'm probably going to find a brand new one in store again by that time.
But I guess what the silver lining to that situation is that you now have a direct link to Sony, right?
Yeah.
You're
That's probably the only thing.
You like, let's say you like got super frustrated last night and you're like, to hell with this, you send it back. Well, now you're just really just playing the waiting game. Whereas now you have the system, you put in a work order or service order, and then now it's like you have a 98% chance of sending in your system, it getting repaired, and then it's gonna come back to you, albeit at a longer time that you wanted. But now that's like like you're gonna have a working system at the end of that transaction. Whereas
I need to think of it that way. It's just more annoying because like I've been fighting for so long to try to get it, and I don't know.
And I guess another thing to look at is that even though I'm guessing Sony headquarters or whatever is getting bombarded with people and traffic in their websites, I'm guessing there's not as many people hitting them up for faulty systems. I know that there are faulty systems out there, but Sony support is a different branch than Sony, the people that take care of whatever's inside of a big box store.
How long
Yeah.
did it take you to get a hold of Sony, or like what was the process? Like, okay, you got a broken PS5. What did you do?
Well, this was all early this morning before I decided to go to work because I was going for my morning shift. I just plug it in real quick and started setting it up, and then I left to work, called them around 3 o'clock when I got out of work, and by 4 they were calling me back. So, I mean, that's because we're having a wait. So
They just offered one of those. Hey, we'll call you back if you want to leave your number.
yeah.
Okay. And you just told them my PS5 is broke, or how did that conversation go? I'm just interested.
Well, I explained literally verbatim exactly what happened, and then it's like, okay, we're setting up a repair. I mean, they didn't deny me.
Are they going to send you a postage, or do you have to pay for
They're literally sending me a box for this monster.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So I was hoping that they would just tell me how to package it up, and then I would actually send it to eliminate 7 days. But no.
Yeah, I would hate to be you because I know you. It's like right there. It's so close yet so far. You just want to play. You just want to power it
Yeah,
up.
you can literally smell it.
Yeah.
Have you? When's the last time? When's the last attempt that you had at like powering up the system?
When I got home from work,
Which was
around 3 o'clock. Well, I got out at 3, so around 3:30.
so that's like what, like 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago?
4. Yep.
Yeah. So, are there anything? Is there anything on their website that's like like a troubleshooting guide? Like, hey, this is the factory reset button or something.
No, well, at least not that I saw. I was trying to look for something of other people that were having similar issues, and I see it all over the internet, but then it's just call Sony, call Sony, call Sony. That's like all they say. It's still so new that, I mean, no one knows how to tinker with it.
Well, Dev, I'm sorry, dude. That really sucks. You're gonna always get stuff that are broken on the first round of anything, really. And you just happen to be one of the statistics that got it. Sorry, man.
It's all good. I just thought it was funny. Also, a lot of people were saying, well, the Switch was horrible when it first came out. I've had people in chats tell me that so far. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't at all. I mean, I had the same Switch for 3 straight years.
Yeah. Actually, I did actually have to send my Switch into Nintendo at one point. Remember when warping was an issue? Mine actually warped really bad. And
Mine never did that.
And I called Nintendo, and it was kind of like this was like a couple months after, though, so it wasn't right away. I was able to play Breath of the Wild, and so it wasn't as bad. I got my I got all the stuff that I really wanted to right out the gate done, and then I noticed, but yeah, this is warping, and I called Nintendo, and they were just like, well, send it in, and I'm like, well, and this was before they even had you could transfer your saves and stuff, and I was like, does that mean? I was like, how are you going to fix this? Like, does this mean I'm just going to get a new Switch and you're not going to have the save data? They're like, well, I don't know how they're going to fix it, sir. I'm just like the customer service person. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'd already beaten it. I think they sent me postage that I could just print out, and then I sent it to them, and then within a week, maybe 2, I got it back. It wasn't warped anymore, and I had all my save data still. So, So that was my my Joy-Cons have drifted though.
I still think that's fake.
I mean, I'm just to throw my hat in the ring. My left Joy-Con, it's here somewhere. It doesn't like it. Link will like run into walls.
Yeah.
No. Let me preface that. Like, I don't think it's fake. I know it does happen. I'm just still saying that it's mostly user error because I have not had that happen on any of my Joy-Cons, and I've had them since day one.
What if somebody said your PS5 is user error though?
Plugging it in and turning it on.
Yes. your finger was dirty.
No.
Your electricity is dirty.
There probably is somebody that'll say that, but I know the truth. I know when I'm right.
I just kind of bypass the Joy-Cons altogether. I just do the Pro
controller.
controller. Man, I love that controller so much. It's so
I do too. I'm actually was annoyed that my Splatoon controller started drifting, but I use that thing constantly. So
yeah.
I need to get the non Nintendo controllers so I can like play in bed. If
the Hori grip.
yeah, the Hori grip, because there's a Zelda one anyways. And it's always
There's a few different versions actually. There was one for Daemon X Machina or whatever it's called.
the Daemon X Machina one is almost like a controller, like the Pro controller, but split.
Yeah.
I have a video about that controller on my channel, by the way.
Oh, you do? Is that the one you use on a daily or whatever?
No, I was using it for a while. I will say it makes first-person shooters on the Switch way better than using Joy-Cons.
That's the thing. I can't stand playing first-person shooters on the.
Hey, Tampa Bay Trade Day. Hello, hi. How are you?
Control it.
Yeah, but I've since mainly left I leave my Switch docked, and I play on the Switch Lite for my portable stuff.
Now that's something I have not heard. I have not heard of a Switch Lite drifting.
Possibly because they're still fairly new. There's talks that they didn't actually change the joint when they made.
That's why I'm surprised, because the Switch Lite has been about a year now. So you would think that if it was the same exact everything, the drift would have happened on the Lite. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad it hasn't, because that would really suck for Lite people.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna you'll have to turn your whole system in.
Earlier, Ronald asked, what was your favorite N64 game? Mine's definitely Ocarina of Time. But let's say you can't pick. You can't pick Ocarina of Time or Mario 64. What would you guys pick as your favorite N64 game?
I guarantee no one's gonna have my pick.
I'll go for it.
Quackers.
Earthworm Jim 3D.
Oh, Earthworm Jim 3D. Okay, nice.
I love that game.
I would say mine. The best memories I have, I was like in I was part of like a youth group, right? And the leader would have a bunch of people over, and we would just like play Mario Kart 64 or GoldenEye, which I sucked at, so I didn't have good memories with that one. Everyone else did. But the other one was WCW versus NWO. So Mario 64 and NWO versus WCW, because I got that experience of playing with not just 4 other people, but 4 people standing behind the 4 people playing, wanting to play. You know what I mean? So it was just like a really party atmosphere. So I would have to say, on a nostalgia level, those games. But if it was just a one-on-one game, or one player game that wasn't Ocarina of Time, I'd probably say Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire was really cool.
I loved that game. Loved it. What would you say? And Tampa Bay, we'll ask your question in a second. David, how about you? What's your favorite N64 game?
Dude. Man, something about the N64, every game was like its own secluded experience. It was just like,
John, what is that face for?
Yeah, are you a N64 hater?
Here's where we find out.
Look at his face. He's like,
get out.
He's frozen.
I find the Nintendo 64 to be the worst thing that Nintendo ever did.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, man.
I think
let's hold this off for a Formula 64.
Nintendo 64.
I want to know what he just said. What?
Repeat yourself.
Boy sitting behind you is a better console than the Nintendo 64.
Oh,
All right, hold up. Tampa Bay, we might have to wait for your question next week, because we're about to deep dive.
I do want to say the best wrestling games of all time are on the Nintendo 64. I do want to give it that proper thing. The Aki developed, THQ published, WCW versus NWO, the World Tour, WCW NWO Revenge, WWF WrestleMania 2000, and WWF No Mercy are the hands down every generation the greatest of all time. Past that,
why does the N64 suck?
Third party,
say they're fighting on just those. I can
third party support really killed the system. To me, there's nothing. Looking at that generation, like someone who followed the Super Nintendo and loved it, like all my games went to the PlayStation. Mega Man was on the PlayStation. Yeah, there was a Mega Man 64, but that was Legends 2 years later. Third party support, controller was god awful.
I love that controller, even though it's weird. You have to have 3 hands, but it's just not. I find its place in history to be slightly overrated. Tampa Bay, I was just kidding. We'll get to your question. David, well, okay, so that's, you know what, valid points. I personally, I have the just the nostalgia of the N64 is like too great for me still. I was still like, I got it right before, I became too cool, to want stuff for Christmas and whatever, it was still an item that I was still like begging my parents for. It was like probably like my last real Christmas, so that console, is what are you laughing at?
It's so adult level dark.
Well, you grow up.
Oh god. Okay.
What about you, David? So tell me, we'll go back to you before we got to why the N64 sucked.
My bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So there's 2 views, obviously the subjective and objective. To me, it was my first official console that I got. I think I was in 1st grade or something, and I came home and my parents were like, I don't know I don't even think it was my birthday. It was around August or something, but it was like Yoshi's Story, an Atomic Purple controller bundle, and that was it for a while. And so every time I think of the N64, I love the aesthetic of the controllers, like the Funtastic line, and the games, I guess the graphic fidelity, the aesthetic of like the low poly feel. It's just super nostalgic, and I love it, and it's near and dear to me because of that. And of course, amazing titles on there. But objectively looking at it, there's a lot that I agree with what Bandana's saying about, with, I guess, like the bad blood. Was it bad blood with Square Enix, right? Where Square Enix opted to go to the PlayStation. And
it wasn't just Square Enix. Nintendo had a bad philosophy with third party. And
they bought into their own hype, or like maybe that's the wrong terminology for it, but they kind of, I guess,
their ego was very.
You don't have anywhere else to go. Who are you?
Sega made a dent in the door, and then Sony just kicked it the rest of the way down for third party support.
Now I'll say this: you guys, it's like, I probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I probably would have argued more with you, John. But I watched this video. A lot of people know of him. His name is Scott the Watts, like WOZ. And he did a video on the N64, how it was like Nintendo's best worst mistake ever. And it was really kind of like, I was like, yeah, I guess I do see his point. And he was saying how the N64 was great, but it sucked at the same time. And so now Scott the Watts, I would say like 75, 80% of his videos, 85% of his videos are really, really good. And then 15% maybe, or just a little, like, I don't know. Sometimes he does these skits that I'm just like, just get to the content. But like he might, if anybody's watching, he might be somebody you might want to check out. But I'd definitely say, if you want a little more elaboration on John's video, or why I'm not arguing with John or Bandana, is because of Scott the Watts N64 video. Because the N64 is kind of like, It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird system. You know, it's a cartridge in a CD world, and we lost Final Fantasy. We lost this. We lost that. Shadows of the Empires. Like, it's back when Star Wars and wrestling, instead of having, you know, cross-platform games or, you know, the same game on the same platform, you had to create just a whole new game. So you could have a Star Wars game here and a Star Wars game there, totally different, which I would say I do kind of miss that. You know what I mean? It was kind of cool, like, because now they just like, well, Call of Duty is just not going to Nintendo. You know, it would be nice if they had some kind of Call of Duty on Nintendo, even though I'm not really a fan of the series. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, Tampa Bay, here's his question. He was like, he's starting to get into collecting 3DS games and wondering what games are getting hard to find that I should get on eBay.
JR in for that one.
Huh?
We need to get JR in here for that one.
Yeah. We have a guy, Tampa Bay. His name's JR Magician. I think he owns every 3DS game now.
But he clued me into, like, I'm still amazed that Barbie Groom and Glam Pups, or whatever it's called, is the rarest game on the 3DS. And you'd think that would be one that, like, you see in, like, a yard sale and pass it up, because everybody passes those games up, and then it's like worth $800. It's insanely pricey game.
Kind of like the Hello Kitty on the Wii U at the first round.
This never got reprinted.
So I would guess that would be your Tampa Bay. If you ever see Barbie, what is it, Groomin'?
Glam Pups. It was on the Wii, it was on the DS, and then got a very, very small run on the 3DS.
And other than that, always look for first-party games just to get them out of the way. Those aren't never rare, but they also never go down in price. Like
Dragon Quest, those Dragon Quest games jumped.
Yeah, Dragon Quest games, get on those as quick. And the Shin Megami Tensei stuff is probably going to jump.
Those also jumped.
Don't remind me. But I did get a, what was it, a couple months ago, where I got the what's that, 8? I'm not used to Roman numerals, but I got 3 copies for Steel, dude.
Dragon Quest 8. Yeah.
Dragon Quest. And I think I saw that the one with the little green, it looks like a Dragon Quest version of Link. It's a short guy. But that version, I think, is still semi-affordable at like $40-something. So, but that's definitely going to climb up as time goes on.
The Flash 12380 just jumped into the chat. He's asking what deals are we talking about. Earlier we were talking about deals that kind of just happened over the weekend. If you're looking for deals right this second, you probably would have to. There's probably still some on GameStop online, but
keep in mind Cyber Monday's a few hours.
I think the eShop is your best bet at the moment. And I know Nintendo, their big deal was the Switch with Mario Kart and 3 months subscription online. That was their bundle. Nintendo doesn't really do deals other than at GameStop. They had like 4 or 5 on sale for like $30 each. But
they got down to 26 actually.
Well,
26.
it wasn't just GameStop. Target had some pretty banger prices.
GameStop dropped them low.
Okay, but those
Target had some pretty banger prices on some games too. Like the BioShock collection was like $20.
XCOM,
Mario Rabbids was $14. That was the lowest I've ever seen that thing. Outer Worlds, and there was a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so those games I would.
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to keep an eye at this point. I think like the second week of December or third week is when they do another round of sales, but it's not gonna be $30 off of Yoshi's Crafted World. It'll probably be like $18, 20% off at that point. So if you don't like Cyber Monday, I know it's a deal and stuff, but it's, again, Nintendo stuff doesn't go on sale. Even their third-party stuff, it's not a rush to really go on sale that much.
Well, to point out what Devin said, I will say, if you want those 2K collections, the Borderlands, BioShock or XCOM, those are down super far.
I don't care what anybody has to say of like, oh, ports, blah, blah, blah. That BioShock collection is perfect. I love those games, and I bought it on every console it came out on. I absolutely adore the BioShock series.
And the Borderlands games are awesome on the Switch as well.
Those two. I mean, I have that one, but I didn't really get the chance to play it all that much, but I don't know.
I've considered the XCOM one. I've really been iffy about. I should do it because I think it's like, isn't it in the $20 range right now? I should totally do it.
Especially if you like RTS style games, dude. You really like.
Yeah, I do. And the thing that holds me back from BioShock is the first person aspect of it, which I'm not a big fan of.
Such a great story, though.
I know. From what I've heard, like I really wish I wasn't like this. To the only first person game that I've ever come close to being like, okay, I can deal with this is Minecraft of all games, and it's just like, I just can't do it. That's why I love the Fallout series, because it's like one of the reasons I'm just like happy that it's third person.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It doesn't have. I mean, I prefer when they give you the choice, but the only game that I've ever preferred first person is Minecraft, because Minecraft also gives you the choice.
True. But yeah, BioShock is definitely a great thing to pick up, and Borderlands and XCOM. All there were some bangers on sale, and I'm having a feeling there's going to be more tomorrow.
Yeah, I found, it's just me, but like Cyber Monday on Amazon and stuff, like it's more so for like the accessories, like your Switch holder, your Zelda controller, just stuff like that goes on sale, as opposed to, I bet Mario Rabbids will be on sale tomorrow too, but just like Mario Kart won't be though. The games like that. Now, when it comes to PS4 games and Xbox One games, those are going to be like on sale like crazy.
Oh, yeah, they are.
N64 had a lot of first-person games. Shadows of the Empire was actually third-party EPS. 007, though, was not. That's probably why I didn't like 007.
I still think it's funny that James Bond was originally supposed to be in Smash.
Was he really, or is that a rumor?
I heard that was an original, David probably knows more about this anyway, but I heard that was almost like an original build of the game that he was supposed to be in it.
Yeah, Sakurai's mentioned it. There's articles saying that there were some assets in Melee, like the motion sensor bomb. As you can see, has a very, very close resemblance to the motion sensor mine, whatever, in GoldenEye.
David, once you're done, I want to bring something up, but go on.
yeah. So, but I think there was assets for sure, in Melee's build, and I think it ultimately got axed by Nintendo because he said something about using an actor's likeness in a Smash game is big no. And
even though they technically did with Snake, in a way, because he's modeled off of the Escape from New York Snake Plissken.
Right. Yeah, and I guess there's a lot of allusions to, I guess, other Nintendo characters, like that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But it got axed because he said something about, because we would have had the Pierce Brosnan look of James Bond in Smash, which is just crazy to think about. But it made sense at the time because GoldenEye was such a crazy hit for what it was.
Yeah, it's weird because you always hear of movie licensed games that suck, and you almost never think of 007 as being a successful one, because it's just it transcends it even to the point that you don't even consider it a movie license game, even though it is.
Yeah,
right. So that was cool to think about, but since, I don't know, you could look into it, and there's more, where there's smoke, there's fire when it comes to that, to GoldenEye in Smash. So or James 007 in Smash.
But the thing that I wanted to bring up is the article that I sent to you guys in the chat that Sakurai said positive words about the PlayStation 5, and that I wanted to know what you thought, because you know that the Smash players are probably like overanalyzing the crap out of that.
Right. Who's that rapper dog of theirs?
Parappa?
Parappa for Smash.
I would actually love to see Parappa the Rapper.
That would be bad.
They put him in that PlayStation All-Stars game.
What did Sakurai actually say about the PlayStation 5?
I didn't read the article. I just saw it and I thought it was funny. Mainly because I saw somebody screenshotting the article and I sent it to you guys.
It was very technical. I read a piece of it was very much like, I'm a developer. I'm talking about how you develop on this hardware and what they've done well and what they haven't done, and stuff that's just like.
But I'm assuming that like instant Smash players be like, oh, yep, Kratos is coming. Like,
I think he also mentioned that it's something that I think every PlayStation user has kind of mentioned too, is how quickly the space is depleted. He said that he has a 2 terabyte PS4 Pro, and even with something like that, he still has to make room for games. So,
I have to do that too on my PS4 Pro.
Man, I just wish that they would give us something like 4 terabytes or something big, man. You know, like just
You're not gonna see
They
that.
have that expandable slot on the PS5. It's like they set it up to be there, but then it's not friggin' usable.
Yeah,
Right.
how does it work for the PS5 and stuff? Because, like, I mean, with the Switch, I just, I put a memory card in and I have more room, and I usually buy physical games. So how's it going to work with the Switch or the PS5, especially because they have the digital and the Xbox even?
I could be
these
wrong.
games are like 100 gigs, like 200 gigs, or the patches are
Especially
70
for things
gigs.
like Modern Warfare. I was trying to download that to play with my friend Joey, and Jesus, like I was blown away by how big that game is.
Do you just
It's
have to
huge.
delete them?
Ridiculously big.
So, yeah, there's a couple of ways of going about it. Right now, for the PlayStation 5, if you play a PlayStation 5 game, you have to come from that internal hard drive. You have to. Now, you can store it after you're done. You can move it over to a external hard drive.
Okay.
And you can play PlayStation 4 games off an external hard drive.
Yeah.
All the PlayStation 5 goodies, they have to be on that internal drive. And kind of the same thing, hypothetically with the PlayStation 5, they are going to eventually allow external SSD support for PlayStation 5, where you can play them off of an external SSD. Xbox is kind of in a similar vein. They have these proprietary kind of memory cards that are like 1 terabyte, and I think there's a 1 terabyte and a 2 terabyte. They're super expensive right now because they mimic the exact architecture of the Xbox SSDs, which is fairly fancy. And you can there's a slot in the back to put those, or you can do the juggling thing where you put it on an external and bring it back over to the internal.
Wait a second. Okay, so let's just say, we'll say Demon Souls, for example, on PS5. So if I downloaded Demon Souls and it was 100 gigs, we're just like, hypothetically, and I play it, and then I save my character, and I'm like, I don't want to play Demon Souls anymore for 6 months. My hard drive fills up. I can move my character and all my save data to a external drive. I take that 100 gigs, I put it on the external drive, then I delete it.
Or you could just transfer it as a whole, and it goes over there. You don't have to go back and delete it.
Okay, so it just goes. And then to play it again, though, can I just keep the external drive plugged in, or do I have to move it back?
You have to move it back to the internal drive if it is a PS5 game.
All right.
But if you have PS4 games, you can play them all day long.
So I can bring a Spider-Man game, the Spider-Man game. I can just bring it over on an external drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, it does make sense. I mean, most of the time, people that are going to move things like that are going to have all their PS4 games because they're moving it from the PS4 to the PS5. So, what's the sense of moving it onto the hard drive? Just keep it hooked up.
When I set my Xbox Series X up, it was unplug the One X, unplug the hard drive from it, move it, put this down, plug the same cords into it, and I was done.
Yeah,
that was set up.
That I do enjoy. Do we have any more thoughts on this one?
Not really. We got like a minute left, so what's up?
I think it's
What
clear.
in the world happened to the Scott Pilgrim game?
I
It
haven't
was
heard
supposed
anything.
to be out by now, I thought.
Probably COVID. You know, I mean, I know that's kind of probably everybody can just use that excuse and it's just like, oh, yeah. But I mean, honestly, I mean, as a small developer, well, is it a small developer? Isn't it like, yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I'm still, like, I was thinking about that the other day. I'm itching for that game, and I really hope there's a physical version of it.
Yeah, there has. I mean, if nothing else, limited run games will do a physical.
They have already said, because they knew that was going to happen, they already said they have nothing to do with the physical copy of the game yet.
No, they said they're not involved with the game, which means at the time it was announced, they might not have been involved with the game. I mean,
But I still think it's funny. Limited Run was like, wait, nerds. We have nothing to do with it.
They get that tweeted at them on a daily basis before that.
No, yeah,
Well, shoot,
time,
I just did it myself. I just instantly thought limited run will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, before that was announced, they're like, hey, everyone's like, we want the Scott Pilgrim game. And they're like, we do too.
Yeah, but I mean, Untitled
coming.
Goose Game got a physical release. So, I mean, Scott Pilgrim will get one.
Yeah. I think with the amount of boutique publishers, as I call them, the little guys, you're bound to get that.
I really hope so. I wanted a physical copy of that game back when it was on the PS3, and it never happened. But I still have my PS3 with that game on it too. I just would love to play it again.
At some point in time, I don't know. Do we have time? Assuming we're at the.
Yeah, we're pretty much over.
So at some point in time, I do want to say I want to talk Doom Eternal's news.
Okay, just start it off next week with Doom Eternal, and we'll talk it.
Okay.
So,
But I'm all good.
all right, David, anything to say? All right, everyone. Well, then that's it. I do kind of like this new format of seeing everybody at once. I don't have to be clicking on everybody and whatnot. So,
Yeah, I like to do it much too. It's cool.
yeah. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Might be a little harder for us to get on and have to click a link. I don't know. Who knows? But for you guys, we'll just be here next week, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate everyone. Ronald, Flash, EPS, everybody else. Smoochie, I know you comment after the fact. And Nick and whoever else might be watching this eventually. We just appreciate every single one of you, and we'll catch you next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great night.
Peace.
Peace.
And we out.
All right, I'll be right back.